Dr. Bali.
Okay. So in our previous classes we have seen, right? So how to fetch the data from database tables and how to play with the data, right? Using these loop and loop read statements. So today we'll see about the modularization technique. So modularization technique is nothing but it's like, okay, dividing your, let's say if there is a large task, okay, assigned to you. So instead of doing, okay, large task, okay, at a time, what you do, you split the task into multiple small tasks.
Like a partition.
Not like a partition, okay. So if you split the, okay, let's say there is a 1,000 line code. So instead of writing everything in a single program, you can split into multiple blocks. So that, okay, if there is any change, you can directly go into that block and change it instead of, okay, changing, yeah, changing the entire code. Let's say there is a write statement. In the write statement, you have to display the system time, date, system time, and the user and everything. You have to perform this for 10 times in the same program. So there are three statements, right? So what you have to do? Every time you have to write this. Let's say at the 100, after 99th line, you have to write this three, and after 200th line, you have to write this three. So like this, you have to write these three statements 10 times, right? So instead, what you can do, you can group these three into a small block, and you can call that block, right?
You can name them block.
Yeah. Block means it can be function module, it can be include program, anything. Okay. Modularization unit, small modularization, so that it is easy for us. Okay. I mean, it improves the readability of the program, and it improves the reusability, right? We are reusing the same block, right, 10 times. So likewise in the same, okay, web also you have multiple techniques to reduce the redundancy of the program, I mean statements. Instead of writing, okay, to repeatingly, you can reduce that by using modularization technique, and also you can improve the reusability. So there are four modularization techniques in the web. So one is your include program, function module, macros, for forms, form. So we call form as a subroutine also. So we have four techniques, modularization techniques in ABAP. One is include program, and second one is function module, and third one is macros, and fourth one is forms. Okay. So mostly we use function module and include program, and rarely we go for forms. We don't use macros, okay, in VW. Even this form also we don't use in general, but you can see it in the standard business content. Today we will see, first we will see the include program. Okay, so let's go to SC38. Read test. Let's go. So, So okay, just look into this program. So what I'm trying here is I just declared three variables of type int, and I just pass the values initially for variable 1, variable 2. For variable 1 I assigned 10, for variable 2 I passed 15, and variable 3 I am going to derive using a addition function z variable 1 plus z variable 2. So what I am doing here, I am just displaying the variable 1 value, variable 2 value, variable 3 value. So after this, what I am doing again, I am incrementing variable value by 10, z variable 1 value by 10, z variable 2 value by 10, right? Again I am doing the same operation, z variable 3 equal to variable 1 plus variable 2. Again I am printing the values. So I am just repeating the same steps. See how many times?
4 times.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 5 times. Okay. Okay. So I am repeatedly writing all these statements, right? Shashank,
Yes, yes, yes.
I am repeatedly, see here, come down. See, you can see the same statement here. All these 6 statements you can see here. Here also. Repeatedly I am writing the same statements. Get it? So I want to eliminate this redundancy. So instead what I'm going to do, I just include all these in a include program.
Okay.
Let's see whether it accepts it. So include for z demo underscore include. See half type include. See, in general we select executable programs, right?
Yes.
So I told you at that time I will show this later. So what include program does, you cannot execute include program directly. It has to be inserted in the executable program. So it's a test program. So it doesn't allow you. See sir, I just included all these 6 statements in this include program. So when I double click on this include program, so you can see all the 6 statements, right? So what I will do right now, so I don't need to write all these 6 statements every time. So instead I can just call this include program using include statement. See how many times I need this? 6 times, right? 5 times or 6 times. Yes. That's it. Remove everything. You are including a particular block of statements
Yes.
from include program. So what it does, when the system comes over here at this statement, what it does, it will go and jump into the include program, it executes the statements over there. That's it.
Suppose it will declare 10 times, 15 times, something need to write 15 times.
15 times you have to use this include statement. Of course. let's see. So total how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 6 and this 7. So you have to see variable 1 value, variable 2 and variable 3 values in the output for 7 times. So each time it is incrementing or not. See, when it comes over here, okay, once it is done with this statement, what it does, it will again go to this, right? So when it goes inside this, what it does, first it is incrementing. See, every time it is incrementing. First time when I executed, okay, this variable 1 value is 10, 15. Your variable 3 is 25. So next time it is incrementing this variable 1 by 10, variable 2 by 10. And your result is 20 plus 25, 45, 30, 35, 65, 40, 45, 85, 50, 55 and 105, 60, 65, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, right? Incrementing. 125, 70, 145. Got it? So by this, okay, the readability is good, right? I mean, compared to, yeah, I mean, we don't do this, okay, immediately. After this, okay, we perform something in general. Let's say you, okay, write some statements, then after that you include this. You don't include like this immediately, 7 times, 6 times. You do some for operations after this. After that, you again include this. In general. See, I'm not declaring anything. See, this is the main program. This is the executable program. This is the transfer empty one.
Naveen,
Yeah, yeah. Tell me.
so here we are incrementing variable 3, right?
Variable one also. One two. See, z variable one equal to z variable one plus 10. Z variable,
Okay. Plus 10, okay.
your variable
Got it, got it.
calculation only. Summation of variable one, variable two.
Got it. I have not seen this one plus 10, so I thought where is 10 now?
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah, see, by default, you don't need to come
Uh-huh.
here, you don't need to include and give a name, double click, not like that. You can directly go to
Correct.
SC38. Uh, so you can go to here SC38 and you can create here. Test include type include program status okay, test program. Let's save it. Okay, write some statements. See, it's not throwing any errors. Did I declare this variable and variable to variable 3 here in this program? No. So in the executable program, you have to declare all this. So it's a include program only, right? It's a set of statements only. It has to be included in the main program. So in the main program, it expects okay. You have to declare all these three variables, not in the include program. Got it?
Yeah, got it.
So this is your main program. So here I declared all these three variables. So this is my include program. I am just using the declared variables. Whatever I have declared in the main program, I am just using it. Got it, sir? Any doubts here?
No.
So this is how we have to use include programs. And see, you can, let's say you have so many declarations here. So what you can do, you can just see. I just want to keep all these declarations. I mean all these variable declarations in one include program. I want to use those variables in my program, main program. That's it. So let's see. So just what I do here, I just declare the variables here. So I don't want this to be in my main program. What I do, just include program. Okay. Remember this, include all your declarations. I'm including my declarations in a include program. Right? So just remember this. We will use in function modules, not in function modules. While I mean in the data source enhancement, we will use this. So any doubts here?
No.
Shiva? Yeah.
ఇంక్లూడ్ పెట్టి పేరు అసలు మనకు ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎండ్ ఏమి ఇవ్వలేదు అంతేనా? మనం ఇంక్లూడ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ రాసాం కదా, ఆ ఇంక్లూడ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో ఇప్పుడు నేను వేరే ఇంక్లూడ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఓపెన్ చేయను.
This is my include program. Okay.
ఓకే, ఈ మెయిన్ డేటా అనేది డిక్లేర్ చేసేది మెయిన్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ కిందకి వస్తుంది కదా.
You don't need to include. Okay, this is my declaration part. I am including a include program. Include program nothing but a particular block of statements. That's it. You cannot execute an include program. So what it is doing? If you go to you cannot execute this directly. See what it is doing? It is executing the main program. It shouldn't. I don't know why it is. If I don't, let's say if I remove this from the main program. See, is it executing your include program? I just removed it from the main program. Earlier, okay, I included this in the main program. So then later, okay, I just removed it and it's not being used anywhere as of now. So can I execute this directly? Operation terminated. Why? Because it is not an executable program. So it's a program which can hold multiple statements together. That's it. You can reuse it anywhere in any program. Let's say I'm using it in the MT1 program, right? Z-test MT1. So you can create MT2, MT3, any program, and you can just include this Z-test underscore include one. So when you include this, what happens? Whatever the statements you declare inside this, okay, They just come into the main program. So it won't come here and execute here and come back. Not like that. It just copies the statements, what are the statements, into the main program. Shiva, any doubt here?
లేదు నా
It doesn't mean okay, it will go into this program and it will execute there and come back. Not like that. It just copies the whatever the statements you have written in the include program. That's it. And
అంటే
execute in program.
ఒక్కొక్క చిన్న ప్రోగ్రామ్ కి ప్రతి ఒక్క ఇంక్లూడ్ రాసుకోవాలా లేదా ఒకే ఇంక్లూడ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో అన్ని డిక్లేర్ చేసి సరిపోతుందా?
Depends on your requirement.
ఓకే
In real time, let's say if you go for ECC programming, so you have to use multiple includes. When it comes to BW, no, we don't go inside includes.
ఓకేనా
So you guys should know, right? Or you know what is what include. What include program does. What it does, it just copies, right? Copies. You cannot execute a include program directly, like you execute here. Okay, this is my main program. So for main programs, you can say report. Starts with report space your program name. I'm able to execute this, but in case of include, you cannot execute this directly. What it does, it just copies all these declarations from there. Yeah, see, when the system comes over here, what it does, it takes whatever the statements inside this and executes them. That's it. If I don't use write statement, no, it doesn't display anything. For our understanding purpose, I am using write, right? So in general, yeah, to remove the redundancy and to improve the readability and reusability, we use the modulazation technique, and include program is one kind of technique. Is it clear? Include program. Any doubts, Shiva? Sudhir?
ఒక ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో ఎన్ని ప్రోగ్రామ్ రాసుకోవచ్చు?
Hello.
ఒక ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో ఎన్ని ఇంక్లూడ్ రాసుకోవచ్చు కదా?
You can include any number of includes in a main program.
Sure.
Let's say it can be include 1, include 2, anything, any number. Maybe in your include 1, there are different set of statements. Okay, you have to perform. Here you have to perform different set of statements. Here you have to perform different set of statements.
Can I write include program under include program? Under include program, can I write one more?
Yeah, I believe so. I haven't tried. Let's see. So when you execute your main program, what happens? I just included one more include inside the include program. So total how many write statements you have? Total how many? Here 3 and here inside this 1. So total 4. So each time it calls this include program, zdemo underscore include, it has to show 4 messages in the output. See? Test 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can include program inside a include program. So this is my include program, and I include one more include program zdemo underscore inc2 inside this include program. Any doubts? So okay, that's it. I mean, just for reusability, just for readability. So now I will start with function modules. Today I will give brief introduction. Okay, so some simple function model, how to write a function model and how to execute. See, you cannot execute this include program directly. It has to be included in the main program, in the executable program, right? Let's go to SC37. SC30 is 8 is for what? For other programs. SC37 is for function modules. So what is a function module? It is also a modulazation technique. What it does, it takes inputs and it gives the output parameters. It takes some input and it performs something, okay, and it gives output. But what your input program does, it doesn't take anything. It doesn't give anything. It just executes whatever inside this. But your function module, what it does, let's say there is a GST, right? GST rate. So it is different for each and every product. So let's say you just passing input to this. You are just giving the material number, product number. So what it does, and it processes the material number and it looks for the GST rates inside it, and it gives the output GST rate. You are giving product ID and it is giving us the GST rate as a output. So it takes input and it gives the output, and you can execute this directly. Independently you can execute here, but in the program you have to call this, right? In the main program you have to call this and you have to give some input. You have to pass some input to this, and what it does, it gives the output to us. So let's see the function model structure. Let's say z test underscore fm1. Just give the technical name whatever you want to give. Go to SC37 and give the technical name of the function model and just click on create. See what it is asking for? Function group. So what is a function group? It's a kind of folder. Folder structure. Let's say you want to keep all your English movies in English movies folder, right? Telugu movies in Telugu movies folder, Hindi movies in Hindi movies folder, right? And your movies in your folder. Right folder. So it's a grouping actually. So we group all the related function models in one function group. Let's say there are 10 function modules which deal with the SD module, sales and distribution module. So what we do, we create a ZSD function group and we include all the
function models.
relevant function modules in the sales relevant function modules in the sales ZSD function group. So by seeing this ZSD function group name, okay, whatever the function modules inside this ZSD function group, they are relevant for the sales and distribution module. For ZMM, let's say, for a material management, you create a ZMM function group and include whatever the function modules you have written to deal with the MM data, you include them in the ZMM. Like this for all the models, ZFI, let's say for all the BW, if there are any function modules dealing with the BW data transfer, you just have to create a function group, ZBW, include all the function modules, whatever, dealing with the data transfer in the ZBW function group. So right now we have to give function group Z test Z test function.
Function group later on also says
Hmm.
the function group.
See, we create function group. Real time now we have to create.
Group create the go to again.
Hold on. See, I can I can use the existing function groups. So instead, what I'm trying to do here is I'm giving a new name. What it is saying that function group z test underscore fz does not exist. So first, what I have to do, I have to create a function group. So where I have to create SC80. Go to SC80. See, from here you can navigate to anywhere. It's a object navigator SC80. So you can navigate to your programs, ABAP programs, anything. So I just gave what. So this is my ABAP program. So program. See, this is my ABAP program. Inside this ABAP program, I have how many includes? So in this include I have data declaration. In this include I have
calling
yeah these operations, these statements as well as one more include ANC2. See, since I have three includes inside this program, I am able to see all these three. So what are the fields? I just declared yeah data declarations. Whatever you have inside this also comes here. Okay? I just declared right here. So it is saying okay, it is showing. So you have three includes and you have these three declarations in your main program. Main program means even if you include in the include program, yeah, it has to copy right.
SC80.
SC80. So now my requirement is to create a function group. Just go to function group. So this name I'm trying to use right, z test underscore fz. If there is anything, okay, it will display. Let's say z test. Since it is available, I am able to see whatever this function group contains. Function modules, type those fields, includes, macros. No, we don't deal with macros. So right now, z test underscore fz. I am trying to create a new function group. Just click on enter. What it is saying? It is not, doesn't exist. Yeah. Create a new one. Okay. Click on create. Save function group. Practice. Let's say. See, whenever you create a function group, by default it includes two programs. See, z lz test underscore fz, lz test underscore fz uxx, right? L, okay, L is constant. Then after L, z test underscore fz is your function group name. So it is standard, okay. Whenever you create a fz1, what happens? First it starts with L, then function group name. Then after that, top. L function group name top. L function group name uxx. So by default, 2 includes gets created. So what you can do here? See, in this top include, whatever I am doing here. And this, yeah. What I am doing here in this include?
Just
Hmm?
just was on the declaration.
No, what I am, yeah. I included what? Declarations. Declaration part, right? So it can be used in my main program. In the same way, in the function group, when I include, let's say, some variables here, z variable 1, z variable 2, z variable 3, so I can use them. Let's say in this function group I have 10 function modules. It's a folder structure, right? I can use 10 function. I have 10 function modules, so I can use all these 10 whatever the variables I declare. I can use them in the all the function modules which is available. It's a global include. Got it? It's a declaration. You can see this, right? Top include is for declarations only. So whatever you declare here, so it will be used. It will be available for all the function modules. So in this UXXS, whatever the function modules you create and assign to this function group, those function modules will appear here as includes. Include function module 1, include function module 2. Let's say you have 10 function modules inside this function group, you can see 10 includes. Let me show you. Okay. First, let me activate this function group. I didn't do anything, right? I just created it by default. Two includes are created inside this. Just activate, right click on this, activate. It's activated. Now you have the function group. So just click on OK. Yeah. So this is my function module z test underscore fm1. So you have so many tabs, right? So what's your first tab? Attributes tab. Attributes means what? Information about function module. So function module technical name and description. Function group. So what is the function group for this function module? Z test underscore fz and its description, and description for the function module. You can change it if you want. And the processing type. So what is the function module? So default, okay, as of now select this normal function module. So remote, you can say remote enabled function module, right?
Mm.
So remote enabled function module means, so with this normal function module you can call it inside the system only. See what where I am creating this function module, sir, in ECC system, right? So I can call this function model inside the ECC system. So let's say if I want to call this function model, I want to call a function model from BW. So BW is a different server, ECC is a different server, right? If it is a within server, I can use the normal function model. So if it is a different server I want to call from, then I have to use the remote enabled function model. Remote enabled function model means what? Remotely it calls. From BW it calls. Let's say from CRM it calls this function model. So whatever, let's say you have a data source, right? In BW. So for each and every data source there is a function model gets created underlying, okay? So the type of that particular function model is remotely enabled. Why? Because we have to call that from the BW using RFC, right? We are triggering there. It comes to ECC and it executes here and gives the whatever the output, it sends it to the BW system. So normal function model, remote function model. So
The replicating means that replicating errors.
it's a different thing. I'm telling you, okay, internal mechanism. You are replicating data source, everything is a structure, okay? Don't worry about it. There are two types. One is normal function model, one is remotely enabled function model. So we call this remotely enabled function models as BAPIs. BAPI. BAPA. BAPIs. BAD is different, BAPI is different. Remotely enabled function models are called BAPIs.
That is business add-on.
It's a different thing. BAPI. BAPI is nothing but a function module which is remotely enabled. That's it.
Japanese, sir.
Okay. So as of now, we have to use normal function modules only since we are using this in the visual system only. And you can see the general data. Who is the person, user, okay, creating, and who is the person last changed by. Person responsible. Yeah, BAPI. Remotely enabled function module is called as BAPI. So who is the person created this function module and who is the person last changed this last changed on, and what is the package $10, right? As of now I'm using all the $10. See, you can see what is this program name. It is creating a
Like insert adding
program.
SAPL.
Yeah, SAPL Z test underscore function group. Since my function group is this, it is using SAPL underscore Z test underscore FZ. Your aware program name is SAPL. After that, your function group name. So let's say you create ztest fm2, ztest fm3 with the same function group. You can see Same program. So within this program, you can see all this. This is the main program, and this is the include Z, LZ, test FZ U01. You have seen that in XXX. XXX means 01 here. So LG test FZ U01 for this one. 02 is for some other. As of now, it is using 01. And what is the import? Sir, can you guess what it does? Import means what?
It will import the data from other data.
Yeah, how does it use?
Will fetch all the data from that.
Yeah, import means you have to, this function module has to take some input, right, from somewhere. Export means what?
Send the data.
Yeah, send it back to the program, main program, whatever. So changing means what? See, changing also act as import, but whatever you have, you give, okay, let's say default value 10. You cannot change inside the, let's say, let me, okay. So whatever the parameters you give here, you cannot change the values inside the function module, okay. Import parameters. Export, okay, you process, you take the import parameters data and you process something and you use the output using export parameters. Changing means what? You can change the import parameters data inside your function model. That's it. We don't use this changing, okay. Import means import parameters. Here we have to define the import parameters. Here we have to define the export parameters. Here you can use it as a import only, but you can change the value of the import parameters inside your, let's say as of now it is a, let's say in the main program, so z variable 1. So what are my types here? Reference types, type and type reference. So type I integer. G variable 2 type integer. Export z variable 3 type integer. Changing, okay, we will see later. Import, I have given export, I declared a variable. See these tables, if you want to export internal table data, as of now what I am doing here, export and tables is same, but using export you can export only variables data, but with these tables you can export it entire table data. Table means what? Internal table. So it can contain multiple fields, multiple records and exceptions. Let's say if there is a error, okay, unexpected error comes, system couldn't able to process. So here you have to define the exceptions like uh, no more data. Let's say if there is no data, no more data. You can call this exception. I will show you. So as of now, just focus on import, export, source code. So attributes means what? It tells you the metadata about the function module. So who is the person, what is the main program, all this stuff. Okay. What is the function module type? Is it a normal function model or remotely enabled function model? Import, here you have to define the importing parameters. Export, here you have to define the exporting parameters. Don't worry about changing on tables exceptions. Directly come to source code as of now. Z variable 3 equal to Z variable 1 plus Z variable 2. Simple function model. What I am trying to do here, this is the export parameter. Let's say this is my export parameter, right? So what is this Z variable 1 and Z variable 2? See, you can see here, local interface, Z variable importing Z variable 1 of type integer, Z variable 2 of type integer, and exporting what? Z variable 3. So my Z variable 3 equal to Z variable 1 plus 1, Z variable 1 plus Z variable 2. So do you see any apart from this include? Do you see anything here in this function group? Nothing, right? Just activate this. You can directly execute this. So what it is asking? Z variable 1 and Z variable 2. What is this Z variable 1 and Z variable 2? Importing parameters. Whatever I have declared in the import tab, those are appearing there, right? So it is asking some inputs. Let's say 10, 22. Just execute this. It is doing what? Exporting Z variable 3, 32. It is taking input from us, from user or from program, and it by using that program, those inputs, it is calculating something and it is giving back. It's a simple function module. Just I declared two parameters, import parameters and one export parameter. In the source code, I just include a statement Z variable 3 equal to Z variable 1 plus Z variable 2. So we have to call this. Let's say this is my main program. Let's say I want to call this function module in the main program. So I have my variable 1 and variable 2 values here, right? Okay, just go to the function group and let's see this function group, right? Just refresh it. Okay, refresh. Just go back. Let's see. Z test underscore FC. See, earlier only there were two includes, right? Now along with the includes, you can see what function model Z test FM1. So this is the function model I have created right now. So what is the function group for this?
Test.
FZ. So when I go to SC80 and open the function group Z test underscore FZ, so whatever the function modules assigned with this function group, you can see here. As of now, you can see z test fm1. Let's say if you create one more z test fm2 with the same function group, you can see one more here. Z test underscore fm2 will appear here. Okay. Now let's go to this. Earlier it was blank. Now see, one include was created. One include is created for z test fm1. What is the include name? L, your function group name, and u01. It is uxx, right? So u01. 01 is for z test fm1. So you can see there is the same name here also, u01. So when I create one more z test fm5, and when I try to assign the same function group, what it does, it creates a z02. So it follows the sequence, first come first. For the first, okay, it gives 01. For the second, it gives 02. For the third, it gives 03, like that. So, okay. So here, global declarations. If you want to give anything, you can give global declarations. But inside this, you can see the include for each and every program function model. You can see a one include. So for this function module, one include. So when you create one more function module, let's say zfm2, z test underscore fm2, you can see include lg test lg u02 for that. So got it. So we conclude it here. Okay. So I will see. Uh,
A function model.
okay. Let me show you that. Yeah. I thought okay, it's enough for you guys today. Let me change that. Function model, right? Let me change the names. 4, 5, 6, and exporting.
People are not seeds and not a tree.
5, 6.
Not a lizard.
So this is my main program ztest underscore mt1. I'm trying to call this function module inside this. I just okay. Comment all this code. So my variable value equal to 1, 2 value equal to 15. So I want to pass these two variables data to my function module. So what my function module does, it takes two parameters, input parameters, and it adds up inside the function module, and it gives the output, right?
So you're trying to combine the data.
So what I am doing here, z variable 3 equal to variable 1 plus variable 2. Same operation.
Okay.
I am doing inside the function module.
Okay.
So what are my import parameters here? Variable 5 and 6.
Yeah.
Right? Export variable 8.
Yeah.
So if you just okay look into the source code, my export parameter equal to this import parameters variable 5 plus variable 6, right? When I pass 10 and 15 to this okay function module, what it does, what output you can expect, sir? When I pass 10 and 15 to this function module, for a variable 5 I passed 10, for variable 6 15. So what should be the output?
10 plus 5,
25, right? So 25 will be populated to z variable 8, and it will export this z variable 8 to my main program. So this is my main program, z test underscore above program. So inside this above program, I want to call this function module. So there is a option to call the function modules or some other. Okay, there is a pattern symbol, right? Just click on this pattern. You can see call function. So what is my function module name? Z test underscore fm. Okay, just give the function module name here and click on OK. See, whatever the input variables and output variables I have declared, they copied automatically. Z variable 5 and 6 are input parameters, right? Import parameters. Here, for the function module, they are import parameters. But for here, in this program, we have to export, right? So those becomes export parameters in my above program.
Okay.
When I export from here, function module takes them as input parameters, right?
Yeah.
See, I have to export some parameter.
Parameters.
So I have to give some value, right?
Yeah.
So what should I give? Let's say z variable 1. What is the value for z variable 1?
Yeah.
Z variable 2. So I have z variable 3 also declared inside this. So for catching this value, I use z variable 2. See, let me debug this. So my z variable 1 equal to 10, z variable 2 equal to 15. So I am calling this function. So when I calling this function means what? It goes into the function module. It goes there. Okay, let's see. I am exporting WhatsApp, which is not available. Just click on F5. So it is navigating into what? Here, function module. Function module. Function module, right? So in your variable 5 and 6, what you have? 10 and 15. You already exported, right? So when you export the variable 1 value and variable 2 value to this, it takes the inputs from variable 1 and variable 2. And it is doing some operation here, addition operation. Z variable 8 equal to 25, right? And click on F5. It is done with the statements, right? Only one statement. So it came back again. See, in your Z variable 3, right? Z variable. It's taking Z variable 1, Z variable 2 into Z variable 5 and 6. It is performing addition operation and storing the data into Z variable 8, and it is exporting the same to where? My web program, right? So I have to catch this, right? Using import in my other program. See, I am importing this Z variable 8 value into Z variable 3 value. Here I am giving the Z variable 1 to exporting. exporting this value to this value, this value to this value, and importing this value to this value. So write this simple function module. Just go through the function module. So tomorrow we will go deeper. Okay? So any doubts, Shiva and Sujit?
No, no.
So just try to practice, okay? Just try to create a simple function module. So like this only, okay? No need to just declare some input parameters and export parameters and use them inside the source code. Do some multiplication or division, whatever. You will come to know, okay, how to create a function module. So while creating, you have to give the function group name. So as of now, there is a function group, right? Existing. Try to use the same function group, or you can create it your own. As of now, yeah, try to create a new function group and assign it to your function module. So we'll come to know that how to create function group and function module as well. Yeah. We are recording all the classes.
Let's see.
So we concluded here, okay? So we'll see tomorrow. We'll go deep tomorrow. We'll try to blend
Okay.
different
Okay.
together. So we'll try to export the internal table.
Okay.
As of now, we are exporting only single parameter, single value parameter. So we'll try to export entire internal table data. We'll take some input and we'll take the data from the database tables or whatever, and we'll try to export the internal table data. Okay.
ఇది కూడా చెప్పుకోవచ్చు కదా సింపుల్ కోడ్
So okay then, that's it for today. We will see at 7:30 tomorrow. Same time.
ఓకేనా
So try to join at 7:30. So we'll
Okay.
send you up to line. Okay.
Okay.
ఓకేనా
Okay.
Okay.